So, Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA. But at the same time, Russell Westbrook is one of my least favorite players to watch in the NBA. Because he's so exciting. But part of the reason why he's so exciting is because he's so, I don't want to say careless, but he's as close to careless as it comes when playing basketball. He is so laser focused on getting to the rim, on scoring points, on getting rebounds, on, not really passing the ball, but dumping it off for Steven Adams to dunk after he runs through everyone. Russell Westbrook, sadly, could never be the best player on a championship team.
No, he can't. I'm about to rant.
He sadly could never be the best player on a championship team. And there was a time where I thought he could. There was a time, and I think right after, and this was just me being upset about Kevin Durant leaving OKC, but right after Kevin Durant left OKC, I was like, here we go. This is the Rush show. It's the Rush show. And he came in, and you know what he did? He averaged a triple-double for the season and put up monster numbers, won the MVP, and his team got bounced in the first round.
Yeah. Tell it. Preach. Whoa. Dang, I might have to go in on it.
It makes me sad because Russell Westbrook, you gotta, no matter what you think of him, you gotta appreciate the energy he brings to the game. You gotta appreciate the passion that he has for playing basketball.
Can't hate on that.
Because, you don't see players who go out there and give it everything they got every single night. And he really personifies that sort of killer will that has maybe not to the extent of a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant, but killer will in his determination to make his effect known in the game. Now is that effect winning a game? Not always.
No.
But is that effect, hey, I'm going to drop 48 on you tonight, and there's nothing you can do about it? Will the rest of my team score? Probably not. Except for the 10 times I pass it to him to get 10 assists.
Right. Dang, he about took all the words out of my mouth. Russell Westbrook, he's a brain-dead player. He's like they say, a bull in a china shop. What he does is he's definitely the best athlete. I got him and LeBron as the two best athletes, but he's definitely the quickest and fastest and most athletic in the league in terms of speed. Westbrook, he just doesn't know. He doesn't know how, what to do. He does his thing. He goes in there. He dribbles real fast, drives it all the way down the court. And he'll try to slam it on somebody or dunk it on somebody or just pass it off. But what is that going towards? He's trying to average a triple-double now because he knows he has no chance of winning the championship. His team will never be good enough. He knows he's not good enough to win as the main star. So he's just trying to inflate his numbers to make himself look better than what he actually is.
I think the saddest part is he is a Hall of Fame caliber player. He is a player that will go down the Hall of Fame just because of the pure athleticism and the sheer will to bring 1,000% every single night.
Yeah, when I talk about him being a good athlete, he's the type of athlete that he would be good at any sport he played. Because he's that athletic.
Any sport.
Yeah, that athletic. He would be good at soccer. He'd be good at baseball. He'd be good at football, whatever sport.
And I think that his determination to be good at something also would lead him to be good at any sport that he has to play. But it goes from determination to almost stubbornness at times, because it seems like he will never grow out of this need to have the ball, to score at all times, and to take ill-advised shots. He's not a three-point shooter. He'll jack up some random threes here and there. But the crazy thing is, I don't know many players where I've seen not more buzzer beaters, but some
Big
like
shots.
big shot buzzer beaters than like Russell Westbrook. Because I mean, but here's the thing: I wouldn't call them big shots because they're like the 68th game of the
Yeah,
year
in a regular
in the
season.
regular season. And another thing about Russ is that once he gets to the playoffs, it seems like everything that he lacked in the regular season becomes even more elevated when he gets to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like I think back to the Golden State series when they played them the last year Kevin Durant was on the team.
Okay.
Um, Russ did not play particularly well in that
No.
series, but neither
Terrible.
did Kevin Durant.
They
But
both
Russ,
folded.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, why is he taking all these shots?
Exactly. That's what it seems like. Anytime it gets like a pressure cooker or like it's like a clutch situation, and when it really matters, he always takes. It's like his brain is gone. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be like Kobe right now, even though I can't shoot like Kobe, so I'm gonna just shoot it anyways. I'm gonna try to be like Jordan, even though I can't shoot like Jordan. He just tries to take control, but he doesn't have the ability to
The
do it.
weird thing is he is almost the heir apparent to Jordan. He is right now the face of the Jordan brand.
Yeah, that
Um,
style kind of.
he has that sort of killer will, but he doesn't have the requisite skills that Michael Jordan had. If imagine Russell Westbrook and he had the ability to shoot the ball, let's say like your standard like 3 and D player. Because here's the thing, Russ he can't really shoot the ball.
No, he can't.
Like I'm not trying to be
Can't.
mean, but he can't really shoot the ball.
Oh, it ain't being
Imagine
mean.
if those shooting abilities were elevated.
Exactly.
Could you imagine how good he would be?
He would be one of the greatest of all times. He would be better than Steph because he could get to the basket easier than Steph. He's more athletic than
Here's
Steph.
the thing, obviously Steph's better than Russell,
Of course.
but for a while it was a conversation for like maybe a year.
Well, yeah, because they were going both
Yeah,
neck
for-
and neck in the
for a-
MVP.
Yeah, for a while it was a conversation as who's better. And even today, well, it's not really a conversation. Everyone knows Steph is better. But people still, like, here and there will be like, hey, don't forget about Russ. Russ is still a great player.
I know, right?
And
So weird.
and I mean, I think it's obvious that Steph is better.
He is. He's just better all around. Like,
I mean,
Westbrook, he's good at what he's good at, you know. But it's just he tries to get the triple double to compensate. Like they'll say he's a good passer. When you look, you'll be like, how can you say he's a bad passer when he got 11 assists this game? But they don't say all those assists were just driving in and then handing it off to Steven Adams. He tries to compensate with just inflating his numbers.
I think it's Russell Westbrook is a tragic story in the NBA because
True.
it's a player that I personally, and I'm saying this from a personal standpoint, that I love watching because when he gets going, I mean it's like nothing else to watch in basketball.
It is exciting.
It's so exciting because you watch people and they can't stop him. Like they just can't stop him. But then you might watch him sometimes and you might be like, man, OKC might be running away with it right now. And you look down at the score and you're like, oh, they're down by 6. Like,
Yeah. You'll be like, man.
but Russell has 30 points.
Exactly. They'll be like, man, Russell Westbrook got a triple double before halftime. They'll be like, but they're down by 25. Well, dang. What's the point? What's the purpose? But I don't know. It's
If
just
the point is not to win basketball games,
yeah, and I know he
then-
can't win it all on his own.
and but that's another thing that I think we should bring up is that what has the team been around him? Now we had like the big 3 in OKC last year, which was Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony. We can automatically eliminate Carmelo Anthony from that because he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Paul George, like obviously he's a good player.
He ain't gonna win that.
Do you remember when people thought that Paul George that OKC was like stealing from basically stealing from Indiana?
Yeah, I remember that when he got traded there.
Yeah.
Like theft,
And
robbery.
and then you see what happens to Victor Oladipo.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
This is
But
not a video to hate Russell Westbrook. This is a video to just explain why I think and Ryan thinks that Russell Westbrook could never be the best player on a championship level team. He just couldn't.
he can't.
Could he? This late in his career, I don't see him adapting his style either.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like, it's kind of like, So I was gonna say, like, people say they don't want to play with LeBron. Some players would be like, oh, from the outside, they'd be like, oh, nobody wants to play with LeBron. Nobody really wants to play with Westbrook either. Because what is it gonna come down to? Him just driving in and you stand on the wing, he kicks it out or something like that, or if he gets tired, he just passes it.
I remember at one point they talked about him going to play for LA, and this is when they're also talking about LeBron going to play for LA. I could never imagine that. Two players like that are so ball dominant. And LeBron, to his credit, seeing now, he's playing more off the ball now that he's with the Lakers, or at
Which
least
he should be.
Which he should be, because I mean they already right now. Oh my gosh, they have already too many ball dominant players with Lonzo, and because I mean, really, what's Lonzo going to be without the ball? But they have already too many ball dominant players with Rondo, Lonzo, LeBron.
Yeah, even Lance likes to dribble
Lance
the ball
likes to dribble
too.
the ball. And could you imagine if Russell Westbrook played with them?
Yeah, that would just be overkill. And I don't know, he wouldn't even be smart enough to know how to fit into that team, because like they have way too many. They have a lot of ball like playmakers, ball handlers, but they don't have enough shooters. You know, everybody can't be a playmaker. You know, somebody's got to be on the receiving end of the playmaking and the passing and stuff.
So, in conclusion, Russell Westbrook, one of the 10 one of the 10 to 15 best players in the NBA right now.
I was going to say one of the dumbest players in the NBA. But that's harsh. It's harsh.
One of the 10 to 15 best players in the NBA right now. Can't do it.
No.
At least not by himself. And not in the state that he's in right now.
Even with Paul George.
Not with Paul George.
Chance.
Not with anything they have right now.
No chance.
Honestly, I think it would be best for him if he wants to stay in OKC, then they gotta reshape the team around him.
They do.
And honestly, it might be best for him to leave OKC and go somewhere where there might be a player that's better than he is.
That would hurt his ego, though.
Yeah,
that would hurt his ego.
It might be what's best for his career overall and his legacy. Because what's his legacy gonna be without a championship?
Nothing.
It's going to be a guy that scored a lot of points, got a lot of rebounds.
Wasted time with Kevin Durant on his team. Kevin Durant didn't want to play with him. He was out of there. So it's like, what does his career come down to? Like you said, just hitting a bunch of shots, handing off the ball a bunch of times. And that's about it. Getting a few rebounds, some exciting dunks, dunking on a few people. But other than that, Westbrook,
shout out to Thon Maker.
The man.
But yeah, Russell Westbrook. Hopefully one day he does get the chance to win a championship, but as things go right now,
no chance.
Don't see it happening.